Hello everyone and welcome to Dons TV. Ahead of today's League 2 fixture against Newport County at the Cherry Red Record Stadium. I'm joined to my left by Nick Draper and my right by Reese Fletcher. Yep. There we go. Started then. Welcome boys, how are we?
I'm good, I'm excited. We're on a bit of a winning streak and hopefully we can carry on today.
Absolutely. Nick, 4 clean sheets in a row.
Yeah, I know.
Feels like times are changing.
I know, and we were all worried about not having any centre halves and a little bit of a situation in formation, and all of a sudden we're, no one can score past us.
They'll be back soon as well.
Yeah, I know, and it's going to be a real selection headache. Talking of selection, let's get that team news up on screen for you now. There we go, in goal there, Alex Bass. Josh Nerfel deputising at right wing back in his new role. Kofi Palmer, Lee Brown and John Joe O'Toole across the back three. Jack Curry left wing back. Jake Reeves and Armani Lith in the middle, with James Tilley, Omar Bugiel and Josh Kelly leading the line. Believe that may be an incorrect team, so Josh Kelly is on the bench. So we'll go off the team sheet we've been given just by George. Alex Bass in goal as usual, and then the only changes there are Ronan Curtis and John Kimani-Gordon in there for James Tilley and Josh Kelly. Same team as last time out.
Same team as Tuesday night's win over Gillingham, with Gordon and Curtis starting, with Kay dropping to the bench. And of course, as we say, Johnny Jackson always says, if you're playing well and you're winning games, keep your place, so why not?
I don't think any of them have done anything to lose the shirt yet. I mean, our new back three are just effortlessly stepping in. You've got John Joe O'Toole, who said, we spoke to him after victory against MK, and he said, that's my first 90 minutes in 18 months, and he's now played 4 in a row. And you really wouldn't know it.
No, not at all.
Effortlessly steps into that. Kofi Palmer doing fantastic. That long throw is just getting echoes of Rory Delap and Brian Barkley's era.
It's good that he scored from it as well.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think we got a goal for it. I think we had 2 sort of chances created by it that have been finished off. The bench though, Nick Zanev, Harry Pell, Josh Davison, Josh Kelly, James Ball, Aaron Sassu and Isaac Ogundere. Once again, strong bench. Reese, what are your thoughts on the bench there?
It's really strong, isn't it? We got Josh Kelly there, the pace, even with Aaron Sassu, and there's a lot of players missing out. You've got McLean, who I think is brilliant coming off the bench, and we've seen warming up, not now, but about 20 minutes, half an hour ago, Brian Johnson, Joe Lewis, hopefully be back for Crew next week. But yeah, really good options on the bench, and even if really good.
Absolutely. What's been your thoughts on we've not had you on the show for a while. So
I've not been a few weeks.
On the switch to the 5-back and sort of a new
the formation change.
Yeah.
Well, I think it makes sense when you look at the back three. It's not, as well as Lee Brown has done and John Joe O'Toole has done and Kofi, not blessed with great amounts of pace. We have to sit a little bit deeper. We do like Johnny Jackson. I mean, the irony about this whole thing is this is the formation that we started off with under Johnny Jackson when he first started last season.
Chris Gunter at right back.
And it was Chris. Yes, there we go. And again, I think we saw that. I know people weren't too happy with it, but we were still very compact and very difficult to break down, didn't concede a lot of goals, and that's what we've gone back to, and that plays to our strengths really. We're a counter-attacking team, we like to keep things tight, and then we've got pace on the break, and with Omar and his work rate, I mean, teams find it a real struggle to play against us.
Actually, I think, Reese, Nick mentioned the counter-attacking sort of approach we take. Jack Curry and Josh Nerfel bombing down the flanks. How important is that to how we play, and how good are they?
Yeah, they've been really good, especially since we beat Milton Keynes here a couple of weeks back. Josh Newville, a lot of people didn't expect him to play in that right wing back role, but he's done absolutely brilliant. And they're both, and even coming back and defending, they're both really well. They're both hungry and they've got so much desire. And yeah, their work ethic for 90 minutes, they just don't stop running. And it's so good to see.
There's a real trend of this team though, is it's just relentless. Jake Reeves and Armani Little are real midfield generals, and they really push around. But one player I want to talk about who's been given another start today, John Kimani-Gordon, showed flashes of real excellence on Tuesday night. I think he looked really good. Was a real tough man to mark for the Gillingham back line. Nick, what have your thoughts been on him? We've seen bits of him, and I think he's impressed me.
Yeah, I mean, I think when he first came in, I thought he got promoted out of this league last season with Carlisle, and I think we had big things expected of him. And I suppose sometimes when you get a lone player in, it takes a little while for them to adjust and bed into the team and what have you. So I don't think we saw a great deal from him in his early few appearances. But similar to go off the topic a little bit, but similar to the situation with Josh Davison, I think it's hard when you're only getting minutes here and there. But once you actually get a start, you actually see someone's quality and what they bring, and I think you probably saw that with Gordon on Tuesday night.
Remember as well, he's quite young, so he's getting into a new team. He's obviously been at Palace, Carlisle now. It's going to be different styles of play. Talking of attackers though, and on the bench obviously Josh Kelly. Stu sat down with Josh Kelly earlier on this week, and we'll get that on screen for you now. Really interesting catch up.
Okay, joined by Josh Kelly. Josh, interesting, obviously training at the ground today. Weather's a bit of a mix, isn't it, in terms of chucking it down 1 minute, sunny next.
Yeah, I know. It started off sunny, then it was heavens opened. But yeah, it's been a nice day, nice training session. Another good one ticked off, and looking forward to tomorrow.
So obviously now we're 8 games to go in that running now as such. I suppose you've been with that with Solihull last season as such, like last 8 sort of games. Is this the business end of the season now, where really performances, results are the main thing really in that case?
Yeah, that's the only thing that matters, just the results, getting it over the line. Big 8 games left. Obviously, you can't look too far ahead. Just take it game by game. But yeah, look to build on that tomorrow. Hopefully, get another 3. But yeah, big business end of the season now, so I need to kick on.
Brilliant. In terms of games and stuff like that, how have you found it since moving to Wimbledon? Obviously, moving halfway during the season is can never be easy in terms of that. Different style of plays. Different style of play to what Solihull was.
Yeah, slightly. Not too much different. But yeah, I've enjoyed it so far. Been tough some of the games, some of the travelling, but other than that, yeah, it's been good. Been enjoying it.
Has that been different to obviously where you were at Solihull? Because it's obviously a national league, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? But there's been a high frequency of games, isn't it? In terms of you looking at that games out in February and March.
Yeah, slightly different. Only like location really, just because it was in the middle of everything. But yeah, it's been a few long ones, but it's all that matters now. We're at home. Got a big game tomorrow. Hopefully get that over the line.
How are you finding it in terms of in front of the home crowd? Sold out tomorrow.
Yeah.
How have you been finding it?
Yeah, really good. Every game since I played, enjoying it. So loud, especially a couple of games ago against the franchise, especially that one. But yeah, every game it's been just as good as each one.
How do you find coming into that sort of game? Because it's, I wouldn't say another game like it, but it's not really a rivalry as such. But I mean, there's obviously a lot of stuff before the game. How do you find that build up in the actual game itself?
I didn't find the build up too much different, but as soon as you got here and everyone started getting into the stadium, you could sort of feel the difference.
Yeah.
Just from even the warm up, you could see that everyone wanted it so much, and thankfully for everyone involved with the club, come away with it.
Was that an added pressure, or for yourself was it sort of like an encouragement? Do you know what I mean? Because it can be either way, couldn't it really?
Yeah, I think it was more of an encouragement. Just obviously the support the whole way through. Like you could feel it as soon as we walked out, everyone up applauding. But yeah, they definitely got us through that, and it was, well, thankfully the result helped that and give them their win.
Brilliant. So obviously moving, have you moved down into the south now? I'm guessing you're Birmingham, obviously you're at Solihull, so
Yeah.
have you moved? Because obviously what people probably don't see is all the stuff behind the scenes in terms of moving different scenery and stuff like that. How you?
Yeah, I'm back in with the parents at the minute.
Okay.
Just looking for somewhere close by. We found somewhere like Reading Way, so waiting for all that to go through. But yeah, I was only renting up that way, so it wasn't too much of a hassle getting it all back. But yeah, moved back down now. It's only 20 odd miles here, but
Okay.
obviously getting into London's a bit longer. but yeah, it's not too far away.
How you found travelling? Are you travelling on your own, or have you car buddied with anyone?
I've been on my own so far, but yeah, it's not too bad a journey. Obviously, when there's a lot of traffic, it's a bit of a.
You don't park around here on match days, do you?
No. Oh no, to be fair, we're down the road, but even getting down there, just with all the lights and stuff, it's a nightmare. But yeah, it's not too bad.
What's your preparation like on a match day in terms of breakfast and stuff? Are you a person who listens to music, or how do you prepare for a game on a match day?
I wouldn't say I'm like superstitious or anything. There's no
Nothing
like,
at all like that.
not really, no. I'll have my breakfast in the morning, and then usually I'll have to make something to have on the way. But obviously tomorrow might be a bit of a problem with all the things going on, so I might have to leave a bit earlier, try and find somewhere around here to have some food.
Yeah.
But yeah, no like superstitions or anything. But yeah.
You see very much set in your ways. Do you know what I mean? Is there any superstitions you've noticed with the guys in it?
Not really, to be fair. No like strange ones. A few people like put boots on the same way and stuff, like the same foot each time, but nothing like mental.
How you bonded with the lads?
Yeah, it's been good. Everyone's welcomed me, to be fair. As soon as the first day, sort of straight in on the Friday when I got here, met everyone then. But yeah, ever since then it's been really good. Enjoying it.
Who are the ones you avoid? Obviously, there's certain names in there, aren't there? Who are the jokers that?
Wouldn't say I avoid any. To be fair, luckily there's no one like that in here. But jokers, H, as everyone would probably know that anyway. He's a good laugh. But yeah, they're all good. All good.
Are they important in the dressing room?
Yeah.
They're sort of characters, do you know what I mean? Mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like it's moving away from that sort of era now. But yeah, they're always good to have in the dressing room. Good laugh. Get everyone in. If everyone's down, or in that way, it just lifts everyone up as well, which is good.
Have you found a change of formation? Obviously gone through at the back now, haven't we? We're a bit tighter. Has that changed your game at all in terms of this hacking side of it?
Not as much attacking, I don't think. But defensively, yeah. But obviously, it's been working, and it's helping out everyone out the way we're playing. But yeah, not too much attackingly, but defensively, yeah, it's changed a little bit.
Is that part of the structure to make sure we defend from the front as such like that?
Yeah, exactly that. But yeah, it's been going good so far. So hopefully we keep it going.
Well, thank you for joining us, and good luck.
Thanks. Cheers.
There was Stu's chat with Josh Kelly earlier in the week. Really interesting, I thought.
Yeah.
It's interesting how we've got a similar style to Solihull Moors and that sort of three at the back, which we've moved to since he's come in. So I feel like obviously had a couple of games with the fullback, but I think it's been so we've definitely adapted since he's come in, which is good to show we're planning around signings. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, 100%. I think he's done really well. He just has that flair, that pace up front. He's been quite unlucky with some chances, but it's kind of the same with Valley. Like when he signed, his 8th game I think he scored it. So yeah, whenever he finds his feet, I mean, yeah, he's been getting chances. Got unlucky. The keeper's done pretty well, especially those two against Barrow. Yeah, I think when he finds his feet, when he gets his goal, he'll start scoring loads.
Absolutely, I think the floodgates will open. He also mentions pressing from the front, which is something that we really have done really well with. I think is one of our strengths. How important that is the way we play and sort of keeping teams. I think we saw against Newport, we picked sort of the back line. I think in the home game.
Yeah.
Obviously the away game was very good, but we sort of we're more like a pack of wolves.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
In that sense, but what have your sort of takeaways been with that sort of attacking?
It's massively important to how we play, and I think we saw, like you said at the start of the season, we saw it loads and loads, and we saw, Notts County down here, Swindon down here, Doncaster down here, teams that like to play out from the back, but all of a sudden causing themselves all sorts of problems by trying to play it out with our high press. But I think bigger than that, all those is probably Milton Keynes. I think we saw how they like to get the ball and work their way through the thirds, and we just didn't let them, and they just could not figure that one out. And we're quite happy with it now with teams to go direct, to be honest with you. I think O'Toole and Brown and Barmer mop that up with ease. So
John Joe O'Toole is unreal. So good and he's also really good at... We'll go back to Josh Kelly in a second, but he's so good at corners. You see, he does that little mazy run he does through all the players, and then I think on Tuesday he had a couple where he met the ball, but it was either just went wide or sort of just went over, and it's what we want to see.
I think he had one against MK as well.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, did you?
I think it's just so good to see that we're getting really good at set pieces.
Yeah.
Because there was a while where we used to not beat the first man and we used to really struggle, but Jake Reeves just whips them in, almost James Ward-Prowse-esque.
Yeah.
He gets quite a lot of whip and dip on it, and it does hit its target quite often.
Jake Reeves is doing massive.
Oh yeah, set pieces. I don't think your mic is working, so we'll have to share one, I think, and we'll go from that. But yeah, so it's sort of going on like Jake Reeves.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, Jake has been really important, and he also drops back into centre back as well, just picking up the pieces, getting it into Armani Little, running it. He's just been so important, and just being a captain as well. Even when he was injured, I thought Armani Little did really well as captain as well. Yeah, he just shows that energy, and especially when he was injured, I thought we massively lacked him in midfield, even though we had James Will, and you love him a lot. Yeah, he's been brilliant.
So one thing Jake Reeves being when he was injured, he came on the show, and obviously the way he spoke about it, that tactical analysis was really, really key, I think, and just showed why he is the right man and to sort of lead the line. And the way he said that he's got different angles where he's watching it and sort of going into the dressing room at half time and saying we need to change this and taking a different approach. Nick, what have your thoughts been of Jake Reeves as captain and seeing him take over the sides?
Unbelievable, to be honest with you. As we have the school trip out today. Unbelievable, to be honest with you. His maturity as well. When we spoke to him, it really came across like clear leader in that. He is a clear leader and has those leadership skills. But also he has the absolute, as you say, the quality. Moves the ball around. I mean, the winner against Milton Keynes. Sorry to come back to the Milton Keynes game again. But again, it's him that makes that goal. It's him picking up the ball in midfield with his work rate, quality to keep the ball, and then play a perfect pass in that gets us in. So, I mean, we're getting to that stage of the season when we start talking about Player of the Year. And I know that Ali, obviously, if he was still with us, would probably have won that by
a few weeks ago,
margin, but Reeves is certainly in that conversation for me. And
actually, I think Jack Curry was in that conversation whilst we're on it. I think he's been phenomenal this year. Back to Josh Kelly though, I just thought it was quite interesting how he's playing. He said it's similar to Solihull Moors, a team who are chasing sort of promotion, and he's used to that experience. We are currently chasing the playoffs because I think as things stand, we are 7th. So it's a nice thing to say that we're looking up rather than looking over our shoulder. I mean, we are looking over our shoulder with how tight it all is, but I just think it's interesting that he's a man that's come in. We've got players that have come out of the division: Jake Reeves, John Kamani-Gordon, John Joy Toole out of this division in recent years, and obviously Josh Kelly comes in. Yeah, recruitment has been so strong, and I think it's showing there's a real thought process in what we want to do. And I think the goals have come for Josh Kelly. Obviously, he had that chance against Gillingham that so narrowly just got caught up with the defender. But talking of that chance, we're going to jump into some highlights from our 2-0 victory over Gillingham on Tuesday night.
Both sides have built their foundations on good defence, and it takes a good save to keep Wimbledon here by Gillingham. Hutton swings one in, a hanging delivery, and a header that lifted to the back of the box. It's a big chance, and it's still alive here. Smashed through the crowd by Mahoney, who runs into plenty of Wimbledon defenders who are back in. Weaving his way through midfield with a clever pass. Right, it goes to Brown here. Brown's lofted delivery right into the space where the Wimbledon to do here. Wimbledon probing on the edge of the box. Reeves from deep sends one in. Decent ball, big chance, and there's the goal. The breakthrough from AFC Wimbledon here, and it's Omar Bagil who's there, finding that far corner. Wimbledon have the advantage. This effort just beyond the clutches of Morris, and the home side lead. Well, the challenge was very late from Masterson, but it was reckless too, more than anything. And it will be a yellow card. The Wimbledon players feeling that perhaps it should have been more. Kamani-Jordan has been pulled back here, and it's Masterson who was only into the book just a moment ago for that reckless challenge on Little, and this time it's another yellow, and this time he does see red. Plenty of space starting to open up for Wimbledon. Into the box again, looking for their second of the night. This time Morris is there to make... Having lost Connor Masterson earlier on in the game. Bagil, the goal scorer, looking to turn provider with a good-looking ball. Swept goalwards by Curtis, but he ran into Morris. Reeves whips one in to the back of the area. Adding real quality to the playoff push. Here's Reeves, he's going to strike it. It's pushed away, but not far enough away from Omar Bagil. There to pick up the pieces and grab his second of the night and make it Wimbledon 2, Gillingham 0. The bounce was awkward here for the goalkeeper Morris, who could only push into the path of Bagil. Kaimani Gordon looking to get his name on the score sheet here. Maybe in towards the front of the penalty area, dealt with by Wimbledon, who are happy to turn away. And now there is a chance for a breakaway. Wimbledon looking for another here. And what a chance it was, but it's been put wide.
So that's 8 games to go now. We're in the driving seat. Real opportunities for you and Kofi being here on loan to make a great end of the season.
Yeah, we literally spoke about it not too long ago, maybe two days ago. Just about how crazy it would be for both of us to get promoted together. Obviously being at Palace together as well, it would be a special moment. So just got to make it happen really, especially for me. I got promoted last season, so getting it again would be something that, well, we could only dream of really.
Josh, what are your immediate thoughts after that?
Listen, I think it was a professional performance. I think when you go one up against them type of sides, it's always difficult, especially they've got a lot of experienced players in their team, so it's very easy to kind of drop off the pace and drop the tempo and kind of let them go back in the game and kind of fit into the game they want to play. Obviously we know they want to play off set pieces and stuff, things like that, and long balls, so we knew we had to kind of stop that early doors by shutting down their defenders early to stop them playing to Hawkins. And then I think obviously when they went on down to 10 men, we kind of just had to keep doing what we were doing but at a higher tempo rather than just thinking we've already won the game, do you know what I mean? So I think Omar's performance today showed what he could do, and I think that's what's won us the game inevitably.
Yeah, so we're in a run in now, 8 games to go. Obviously for yourself, since the Milton Keynes game, you've dropped into right wing back. Is that a position you've played before?
I think I've dibbled in and out of different positions over the years, to be fair. I kind of broke through at Luton as a right backish, so it's just something you just got to get used to. I think you've got to try to be versatile, especially in teams like this. We play different styles, like in terms of long ball, and we can play at times and switch the players. So, especially in this league, you have to go in and out of different positions.
Yep.
And especially the way we're playing at the moment, I think wing back's the key for us. And just all around the pitch, I think has helped us in terms of covering round and things like that. So, yeah, it's a position I've kind of dealt with before, but not featured too high, too much.
Yep.
Too much.
So what's Johnny asking you tonight? Is it to do defensive work first, or make sure push them back rather than them pushing you back? What's the sort of message?
I think it just depends on the team we're playing against. I think their left wing back, as you say, there is more of a full back, so you know you're going to have more of the ball higher at the pitch and he's going to drop off. And then we go to Notts on Saturday and we've got Jody Jones who's an out and out winger, so you just got to kind of read who you're playing against and kind of go off that. I don't think it's I think when the gaffer's telling me drop in or stay high, you just got to kind of read the game for what it is, and then go off that really. But obviously what we've been doing at the moment has been working, so it's more or less do the same thing and keep trying to turn out performances.
2-0 win tonight, is that exactly what you wanted?
Yeah, really good performance, really solid, like you said. Caused them a lot of problems, led to them going down to 10 men by our good play, created a lot of chances on the night and defended well when we had to. So another clean sheet, 4 in a row. Really pleased with that we're showing a real solidity defensively, but we've added goals in the last couple of games and that's really pleasing.
And you freshened it up from the beginning, did that have the desired effect?
Yeah, I thought the guys coming in, Ronan and JK, were really good. They know them roles that is obviously a slightly different way of playing at the minute that we found, but they're comfortable in them positions, and I thought particularly the 2-10 positions caused Gillingham a lot of problems on the night, and but what I was insistent on is that we get that defensive work out of them and the front three, and they've done that too, so really pleased.
Yeah, and you want your big players to step up at this stage of the season. Omar's done that. How pleasing was his performance?
I'm really pleased with his goals because they're 2 proper centre forward goals, and he'll tell you I bang on and on at him about being in those types of positions. So if you put deliveries in like we did, I think it was the skipper wanted to put the first one into the area. That's where I want Omar, because you've seen he's a menace when he's in those sort of situations. So great headed goal, and then he gets a poacher's one with a second one where he he pounces on a rebound, and perhaps earlier in the season he might not be in that sort of position. So he's listening. Hopefully he'll continue to do it, and I think there's more to come from him.
Highlights from our game against Gillingham on Tuesday, and another victory and a clean sheet. They're coming very, very thick and fast at the moment, and like we said earlier on the show, the back line of a makeshift back line, which has now sort of become our first choice options, as well as Alex Bass picking up 15 clean sheets. There we go. Obviously 14 on Tuesday, but adding 1 is 15. Good maths there on a Saturday morning. Yeah, absolutely. Nick, talking about Alex Bass, obviously clean sheets very importantly. How good has he been for us this season? Having that stability in goal.
Yeah, 100%. It's that familiarity, isn't it, of having that consistency, and somebody that whoever's in our back 4 or back 3 has absolute confidence. There doesn't seem to be, there are no errors in communication between the back line and him, which is massive. Set pieces we defended really well, and I think it all stems from the goalkeeper. So yeah, really, really good recruitment, and the only worry is what happens next season.
Yeah. That sounds like a job for Craig Cope and the challenges this summer.
Bass also seems like that really quiet individual as well.
Yeah, we had him on the show.
He just comes in and does the job, goes home.
We had him on the show, and he was a good laugh. He was a good sport actually. But I know what you mean. He's a bit like a silent assassin. Comes in, sets high levels, and then just
at least he's doing the job.
Absolutely. He can do it whatever he wants if he's keeping 15 clean sheets.
I mean, think back to lone goalkeepers, and of course Kelly Roos was a lone goalkeeper last time we got promoted out of League 2.
I miss that man.
Yeah, where is he now? I don't know.
Aberdeen. He's still with the Dons.
He's still with the Dons. Okay, I'm not going to comment on Aberdeen and the Scottish Premier League, but who knows? Maybe it's an omen. Lone goalkeeper, League 2, promotion, who knows?
I think, just sort of jumping on a point you mentioned there, having a settled back formation, whether that's a 4, 3 or a 5, and a goalkeeper. I think when we saw the best out of Nick Zanev was when we had a solid partnership. I think it was, that's my knowledge here, it was Paul Kalambai and it was a lone centre-back, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
Or it was Kalambai and Hennigan maybe, but with Nick Zanev behind him.
No,
it was just after. We did have a run where we didn't score, we didn't concede either. It was like 4 or 5 games in a row.
It was Riley Towler and PK.
That's it, Riley Towler and PK, there we go.
Yeah.
I knew he was on loan.
Yes.
I just couldn't think of which one it was. Obviously Hennigan was permanent, but I was going back a bit earlier there. But I just think it helps having a settled, sort of a consistent team, and that's why I'm quite happy. I mean, whilst it's nice to see sort of variety up front, I think having a similar backline and goalkeeper really helps you build across the season, because you're going to learn how to deal with each other. And we've had a couple of times where there's been changes. I think a few weeks ago where Alex Bass has had to berate his defenders for him coming to try and get the ball, or them clearing it for no reason. I think it's good just to see them picking up a bit of familiarity and building from there. Just an angle there on screen, obviously, with the players warming up. What are you guys looking to today for the Newport game?
Well, I was looking at it, so Newport, it's an interesting one because we're 7th at the moment, we're all talking about playoffs and we're all excited, but for me there's no pressure on us, there's no expectation or expectancy. I don't know what Newport are thinking of, but today, if they lose today, if they were thinking of getting to the playoffs, that's it for them, I think. They'll be too far apart. So I kind of think this is a must-win for them today. And I don't know if that, again, I don't know what their expectation is, but if it's a must-win for them and they're treating it that way, does it add the pressure on them? Does it put the pressure on them? Can they manage with that? Who knows? But, I mean, I don't think anyone's expecting Newport to be in top 7, for being honest. But it's a really tight league, and if you're in the mix, give it your best shot. So this probably is their last chance today.
Comes in 2 seconds. We're going to get that comment there from Drew Fawcett. Prediction 2-0, Bassey with his 16th clean sheet, and Curtis and Gordon get on the stat sheet. I'm there for it. 2-0, another clean sheet, more goals, 3 more points. Yeah, really sorry, just jump ahead of you there. But yeah, what are your thoughts for today, and sort of looking at our opposition?
Yeah, I think I'm positive. I just wanted to talk more about expectations. Obviously last season, when it finished, 20th, 21st, something like that. So yes, we're 7th. I'm just kind of happy with the squad. It's just happy seeing us get wins all the time. Well, maybe not all the time, but we have that odd loss there. Then, but the squad's playing really well, and I'm just happy to see a good Wimbledon side, a team that's together as well.
Yeah, and, massively.
But from today, I'm positive, confident. Obviously, we said we haven't conceded a goal in the last 4 games now?
4 games, yeah.
I think I'm positive. I'm going to go well, I think we'll give our score predictions later on, but
later on,
I think we'll win. Yeah.
Positivity. You can never predict a loss. One man there that was on screen, Aaron Sassu, someone who I think we've seen flashes of this season and has looked fantastic. I thought he was very strong against Wrexham. I think he started that game really well. We're looking for him and Josh Kelly to come off the bench today, maybe doing the reverse of what Ronan Curtis and John Kimani-Gordon have been doing when they've come on sort of in replacement. And yeah, I think it's just good. Yet another youth player coming off the academy line and showing that we really do make some talented players as they warm up there. How good is it to see so many youth players, not only in the squad obviously with Jack Curry and Isaac Ogundere when we had sort of playing a fullback, but also Aaron Sassu and Huss Byler obviously who've been making the bench.
Yeah, and again, sort of coming back almost to a couple of players we talked about before in terms of minutes and experience. Aaron Sassu, young player, will get minutes here and there, but it's all building up and he's improving probably every single time he comes out onto the pitch. And it's probably the same thinking about it when we talk about, like we spoke about Alex Bass just now. Maybe at the start of the season, a couple of errors potentially. I mean, there was the famous one against Chelsea, perhaps you could argue. I think Crew down here, where he could have done better with a couple of shots. But again, throughout the season, he's improved because he's got more and more minutes. And it's going to be the same for all our young players. And certainly the case with Aaron Sassu, 100% the case with Isaac this season. Like I think his progress has been unbelievable at the start of the season. He started well, but I thought Huss Byler was in front of him, ahead of him. But I think Isaac, since he's come in, has just been unbelievable. Like, just shows you how important getting those minutes is. But it is great when you get, as you say, the young players that come through and they're your own, and we tend to give them a little bit of extra support because of it.
Yeah, I think Jack Curry really is one that's sort of he's taken headlines, isn't he, this season? But Isaac Ogundere has been fantastic. Obviously, he's on the bench today. Someone who can play centre back and right back, so I think he's really handy for the way we currently play. But looking at the other side of sort of at that role, right wing back, we spoke about it last week. Josh Nerfel has just been fantastic in that role.
Yeah.
So good defensively. And he's not bad going forward either.
No,
there's a bit of trick in there, and he does beat his man. What did you make of him against Gillingham?
He was brilliant. I think he had a chance up there in the first half. He's just like we talked about it, about how much energy and togetherness a team has. He's just that workforce. He runs for 90 minutes, getting up and down. Yeah, he's been so important, and let's hope he can get another good performance today. I mean, yeah, we've been banging form at the moment, and hopefully he can put in another show. Hopefully get a goal as well. That would be good to see. Was it Ramsgate the last time he scored? I believe it was. Yeah. Could have been, but that's the ball knowledge to you.
There we go. Yeah, I cannot tell you last time he scored. Probably Ramsgate.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Reese?
No, Nerfel.
Oh, Nerfel. Oh, yeah, no, it would have been Ramsgate. Yeah, he's not supposed to say. Sorry.
There you go. If you are watching this from abroad, you can watch it on iFollow, obviously, for the price of £10. You can get match commentary and a video pass, so you can watch the game. Talking about other club offerings, we've also got the podcast. We had an episode with Gareth Ainsworth I think it was 2 weeks ago now, I think.
Yeah.
But we've got a clip of that, and we'll get that on screen for you now.
25 years old, you come to the bright lights of London. What's it like?
Honestly, it's crazy. It really was crazy. I remember driving down. You don't... Honestly, like lads who have grown up in London or been around London, you're probably used to it, but the tube, it was all like mental to me. The traffic, even the M25 and that. And honestly, I'm from Blackburn, which is like, it's not the biggest city, it's not even a city, it's a town, and there's not much up there. It's a real good place, and you build resilience up all the time because you have to fend for yourself. What you've got is what you've got. We do not a lot, and then coming down here, it's like a different world. It's like, honestly, Dick Whittington was probably right. The streets looked like they were paved with gold. It was wow, this is incredible. And then to top it all, I've got this bunch of lads who've got this amazing team spirit, and going out together was as much as being on the pitch together. And wow, yeah, some experiences for me. We just. I say now that if my boy Kane, he's at Maidenhead United, he's in their academy there, but if he could relive what I went through, and I went through some tough stuff as well, I'd say, yeah, go for it, because I wouldn't change anything. It was brilliant. I really enjoyed it, and I have to say, I've been down here ever since, so something rubbed off on me.
Absolutely. I want to get on to the teammates, because you arrive at a time where the crazy gang mentality is somewhat at its peak, but it's about to drop, and it's about to sort of fall off a bit of a cliff. But there were some huge names in that dressing room at the time. You think about it, Efan, Marcus Gale, all sorts of different people in there.
Kenny Cunningham,
Ben Thatcher's in there,
Robbie
Neil
Earl,
Sullivan, Robbie Earl.
So.
You are dealing with alphas everywhere.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, not being funny, your hair wasn't as good back then. You had some real bad buzz cut. But you weren't the Gareth Ainsworth that we know and love now. You were the young boy from Blackburn. How'd you deal with them being in your face?
Yeah, honestly, it was a bit, a little bit of intrepidation coming down here because I'd heard about the stories, I'd heard about what they're doing. It was like, but Robbie had come from Port Vale, Robbie Hill, and he was club captain, so automatically I had sort of an ally there, and he was good. But I still say on this first day that my first day's training, the lads started dropping like flies to the end of the session, and I was thinking we're not going to have a team for Saturday here because, there was about 5 of them got injured on the Thursday. And little did I know that was just a key for them to go into the dressing room and get all of my gear that had come in that day and cut it up, set it on fire, and I had to go on with my kit, So that was my baptism, and because I was the new signing, you sort of get the butt of it for a couple of weeks, and I was the record signing for Wimbledon. I think it was the most they'd ever paid for a player, which was a real honour. But then I think about 10 days later, John Hartson walked through the door for about £7.5 million. I'm thinking, right, the jokes are on you, mate. But John was a bit tougher than me, and it was a bit more difficult to get it in. But they still then turned on John, and I mean, some of the names we're talking about there, quality lads, really good players, great guys to be around. And the one thing, Aaron, that you knew, that no matter how much stick we gave each other, no matter how many tear-ups we were in training or anything, the moment that we were up against an opposition, and anything went against us, you had not just 11, you had 30 lads there for you. That was the Wimbledon spirit. That was what we had, and nobody would outdo us for that, for team spirit, for being on top. And like you say, the crazy gang spirit sort of was taken away a little bit. It should have remained. It should have stayed. That was part of the culture of this club. It was part of what we were. And who cares sometimes that we won game on being a bit tougher than the opposition, or we won game in the tunnel because of the way we'd intimidate the opposition, or because of the way we played, or the way we got forward. It was Wimbledon, and it was brilliant. It was brilliant to play in it. Like I say, it's a real honour to have played for this club, especially in the height of the Premier League.
When people ask me to describe you, obviously, look, there are different words. There's charismatic, you're tenacious, you bring like a certain energy. But I'd say you're unflappable. Nothing ever phases you. And so I can imagine you now, you sat here talking about it with a massive smile on your face. Was it the same back then? Were you sat there when they were cutting up your clothes and setting your clothes on fire and you're getting in there and you're trying to muck in? Was it a case of, yeah, I'm here, let's just roll with it? Was it a case of show no weakness?
Do you know what? Yeah, definitely show no weakness. If you showed any weakness, they would come at you and come at you more for the thing that you were weak about. Honestly, there was all sorts mentioned. Half of the stuff I can't mention on the podcast, but there was a lot. They'd come at you and you would have to stick up for it. The one thing I'd say about myself, and I don't know where it's from, probably from growing up where I did, but adaptability. I will, and I still will now. If something happens right now, I'll adapt to it, and we'll get out of it somehow in a positive way. This is me. This has been my world, and I don't know why. Maybe I'm just lucky like that. But I'll energise. I'll lead people. But adaptable. I will make the best of anything at all. I really will. And that's. I don't know whether it's come from not having a great deal growing up, but making the best of everything, but still making the best of everything. Going right. We'll make this. All right, it looks like we're up against it here, but we can do this. We can make this happen. We can work through. There's something. There's a definitely, something we can exploit here, and that I think I took that into management with me as well as a manager, but definitely as a person. And back then, and I think being part of that crazy gang almost made me even stronger with that resilience and adaptability. Because you had to be tough. They weren't going to feel sorry for yourself. They needed you on the pitch, but they weren't going to have somebody who just give up at the first sign of trouble. They'd go, right, we need a fighter, and if you're a fighter, we'll fight for you as well. And yeah, it was really brilliant to be part of.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Plough Lane with all the build-up to AFC Wonder versus Newport County in League 2 this afternoon. We've had a couple of substitutions, 2 substitutions. Really, realistically, that's all anyone at Edinburgh needs. But Stuart Deacon's now joining us on the left, Rob Boyce to my right. I'm Nick Draper, just joining us. And send us your predictions, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. You tell us your predictions for this afternoon's game. I think we're all feeling pretty confident. It'll be interesting to see what you guys think. But we've just come out with an interview. Well, we've just come out of an interview with Gareth Ainsworth there for the official club podcast, Stu, that you were involved with.
Yes.
And Gareth obviously played with us a couple of years down at the old Wimbledon FC. Very, very popular player considering how few games he would have actually played for us.
Yeah, I didn't realise he played so few.
Yeah.
Because you feel like he was there for ages, doesn't it?
It does. But obviously with the injury that we're talking about, and we were talking about the injury before we came back on.
Yeah, so it's on. I've obviously done a snippet there about when he joined Wimbledon. He tells a funny story. He was saying, like, at the time Tottenham and Leeds were interested in him, and both, I think George Graham would have been a manager at Leeds, and Tottenham, not too sure, I can't remember who it was. But he was saying Joe Kinnear was interested as well. But when he went to watch him, he didn't want to go in where all the scouting seats were, so he went into the normal seats. Nice. But apparently he still got recognised. Okay. So he tried to put a disguise on. He still got recognised. But it was interesting what he was chatting in terms of he was up at Blackburn, Preston and stuff like that. It's a really good interview, and we haven't shown it there, but he's got a great story about having his wisdom teeth out in Paris, which if he didn't make it up, then it's just the most unreal story. It's classic.
We'll have to look out. Gareth Ainsworth, of course, experience of getting Wickham out of League 2, and this season there's quite a few teams trying to get out as well. In a bit of one of the tightest league tables, I think, at the top end we've seen for many a year, where everyone down to about 12. Newport are 13th currently, and they're still in the frame. So lots of people involved, lots of teams involved, and I think we're pretty much a full programme today, except for Salford, who play tomorrow. Salford and Morecambe tomorrow, because
they played on Thursday
Salford
night,
played
didn't
on
they?
Thursday live on TV. But so there's our fixtures for this afternoon. And
can I just say, right, the second fixture, Accrington against Notts County, 16th against 17th.
I know. Yeah.
When you think about, I think when Accrington beat us here, I think they were above us in the league from memory of, and I think Notts County have been around the playoffs. So it's mad.
When we played both of them, I thought they would be in the playoff positions come the end of the season, but we obviously know both of them changed manager, not for the better, and it's really impacted them, hasn't it? I think that's derailed their season. So I think, like Nick said, it's probably down to about 13th where Bradford have picked up some form recently. From there, upwards, we'll be fighting it out for the playoffs. I think the most interesting fixture today is either ours or Forest Green versus Sutton. I think if Sutton don't pick up 3 points, there might be one nail into the coffin.
Well, Forest Green won at Bradford, didn't they? Which is a really good. And let's be fair, Steve Cottrell, ex-Wimbledon player, of course, been around the game, hasn't he? Do you know what I mean? Like, because I don't know about you, but when I looked at the Forest Green team, I've looked at it and gone, actually, it's not
a bad team at all.
No, do you know what I mean? You're sitting there and going, why is it not performing? They're not being fed well and stuff like that. Sorry.
You do wonder. But, I mean, with that game, Rob, you mentioned, because Colchester now find themselves in the bottom 2 again. Not been helped by a few postponements over recent weeks, which has stopped them from picking up points. But they've got a hell of a task today because Walsall are in great form. I think Stu said they are top of the form tide over the last 8 games.
Yeah, I think they won 5 straight games and went from mid-table up into the playoffs. I think they again got beat. But yeah, do you know what, it's interesting with that. And also Colchester, I don't know if you heard in the week, but they've actually reduced the size of their pitch because they've lost quite a few games. I think they've got. I think from judging what they're saying, they've got some areas of the side of the pitch where it's flooding.
Right.
So they've reduced. I think you have to go to the FA to reduce the size of your pitch. Within the required. Because they've got lots of games in hand, but at the moment.
It's no good having games in hand when you've got to play so many, because there's so many postponements. They're going to have to squeeze them all in now, which isn't going to be good for their tired legs. So, the Cowleys are a big appointment at Colchester, another Wimbledon
that is some name, by the way.
Huh?
Yeah, I was just going to refer to him as Barry. I was going to say Barry with the 3-0 prediction, Omar with 2 this afternoon. But no, I agree with you, Rob, and I think as well we've got teams that have got games in hand on us at the moment, but same problem. They've got to squeeze them in. It makes their schedule tighter. And we've got a little bit more breathing space between games now, which will help us out towards the end of the season. Especially, as what we haven't mentioned yet, is we've got Crewe next Saturday, and Omar, he might well score twice today, but he's not going to be with us next Saturday, is he?
Joe, it's great that he's getting international recognition, but you're like, this time of the season, so what's he got? There's a 2-legged game against Australia. Sorry, two-legged. They've all got two legs, haven't they?
Two qualifiers. Is it two qualifiers in Australia? Or is
It's two legs. It's two games, isn't it?
Okay.
But not one fixture. Two completely different games.
Yeah, I just said two-legged, and I'm thinking, of course
okay.
they've got two legs, haven't they?
You make it sound like it's home and away.
Yeah, that's what
in
I was
Australia.
thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, we were having a chat when we were outside, Rob, and someone was going, depends what way you travel to Australia. And I was like, well, you go forward facing. But I didn't realise you can go via Singapore or you can go via United States.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he's going, by the way. There's no end to that
He
conversation.
said, and the thing is, he said as well, the person we were speaking to said there's a cheap way and an expensive way. And I went to Australia via Singapore. And now I'm thinking, did I go the cheap way or did I go the expensive way? Had me questioning.
But I think the background of it is we believe he's travelling back. So it's all dependent whether jet lag and stuff like that. I don't know how long they're going for, but Australia, this is fair. You're going to get jet lagged whatever you do, aren't you?
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, talking about Australia and Singapore and all these sort of luxurious, glamorous places, we've got Newport visiting us today. What do you think?
What a link.
I know, right?
International Newport.
I mean, Newport is the Paris of Wales, really is. Rob, what do we make of Newport today? We talked about us and what we're expecting, but Newport, as I say, I think if they lose today, they go 8 points behind us, and that pretty much would end. You'd expect their playoff charge for now.
Yeah.
What do you think of their season so far, and what threats have they posed to us this afternoon?
You know what? I just think they're just going to be one of them tough teams from Wales. You know, we were 2-0 up against them, and then they pegged us back to 2-2. But whenever I see Newport on the TV, there's no easy games. They even gave Man United a hard game in the FA Cup coming back. Like, they don't, even if you go 2-0 up against them, they don't throw the towel in. No. You know, I think that's just down to the manager. He's got them just, working hard, dogged. I think they're quite good defensively as well, so I don't see it being a high-scoring game today.
No.
And what worries me is the fact that we have not lost to Newport at home. Doing your law of averages, Nick, I do worry about it a little bit. And I personally think it's going to be a hard game and going to be a battling draw. I think I can't see us keeping another clean sheet after 4 clean sheets on the bounce. I think again, probably our Duke has conceded one at some point. But yeah, tough game today.
Yeah.
But then there's no easy games really, apart from maybe a team like Notts County where they probably can't get into the playoffs and can't get relegated.
I see what you're saying.
One or two which but everyone's still battling for the top half of the table, and then there's people battling in the relegation. So
and want to make themselves secure.
I'm trying to think how many teams there are from Wales.
Well, two in this division, I think. Two in this division.
Two in this division.
Wrexham.
Oh,
I forgot about them.
Everyone else is above
I
us.
keep thinking they're American.
And then
Shrewsbury's on the border.
Shrewsbury's on the border. Wales can have Shrewsbury. Right, Jerry Stockbridge saying, watching from the French Alps, more luxurious, glamorous places. 3-0 to the Dons again. Watch us instead of the rugby.